Okay, so this is a short video about the structural isomers that we get of alkenes. So let's have a look. Remember how I said there was something wrong with the butene that I said before? You've got ethene and you've got propene, but when you get above that, you have to start putting numbers in there to let us know where that double bond is. So what I drew you was actually but1-ene. So if we identify this, we can see my longest carbon chain is this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where the but comes from. Now the double bond comes off this first carbon here. So that's where the 1 is coming from. And the ene refers to the fact that it has a double bond. So that is a structural isomer. This one's formula is C4H8. If we count this second one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got C4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, H8. And I bet you if we count the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, oh, sorry guys. C4, H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at that. So all of these are structural isomers of each other. They are all technically a butene, but it's about how do we describe their shape with different words. So this is but1-ene because the double bond comes off the first carbon. This one here, let's label our carbons. It doesn't matter which direction because it's the same length chain and the bond's in the same place. But here the double bond comes off the second carbon, so it becomes but2-ene. Now this one, the longest chain we can have is only 3 carbons long. So we're going to go that one there, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't really matter where your 1, 2, 3 is, but it has to include the double bond. So what we call this is methylpropane. Now you could call it 2-methylpropane, but we don't need to because there's only one way of doing this. So you could call this 2-methylprop1-ene if you really wanted to as well, if you want to keep the practicing up, but that's it. So what I would like us to try is I'd like us to try these 3 compounds. So you can pause and give it a go, and then I'm going to draw each one. So hopefully you come back now, and we're going to start with oct3-ene. Okay, so oct to me means 8 carbons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 3-ene means on the third carbon, so 1, 2, 3. There's your double bond. All the rest are single bonds between the carbons. And then you make sure that every carbon has got 4 lines coming off of it. And finally, we're going to fill them all in. And I know it seems like a waste of time, but do not cut corners in practice because then you cut corners in tests and then you unfortunately get no marks. So I don't want to see you losing marks just because you couldn't be bothered drawing in the hydrogens. So that was oct3-ene. Let's go and have a look at the next one. 2-ethylbut1-ene. Okay, so 2-ethylbut1-ene. So I always start with the second part with the but1-ene bit. Okay, so I'm going to go but 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on the first carbon, and I'm just going to start left to right here. Sorry, that's left to right to you guys. On the first carbon, double bond, single bonds for the rest. The other thing we've got here on the second carbon is we have an ethyl group. So I didn't talk about the ethyl groups in the previous one, but if a methyl group is 1 carbon on the chain, an ethyl group is going to be 2 carbons on a chain coming off the side. All right, now it doesn't matter if you draw them like that, so I'm starting to run out of space, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to draw this one over here. It doesn't matter how they go. It doesn't matter how they bend, we're just looking at that chain. So what we end up with is, oh, too many lines. Can you see here how on this carbon I now had 5 lines? I only want 4 lines on each carbon. Then I'm going to put in all of my H's. There we go, one more. Okay, so make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's, and put your H's on your alkenes. Oh, I almost rhymed. But that's that one. So let's have a look at 3-methyl-pent-2-ene. So 3-methyl-pent-2-ene. So I'm going to start with the pent-2-ene. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost ran out of space. The 2 means we're coming off the second carbon with a double bond, and then single bonds for the rest. And then off the 3rd carbon, we've got a methyl group. Okay, now I'm just going to count around this carbon, make sure they've all got 4 bonds. That one's got 4 bonds already. Almost ran out of space. Come around and write my hydrogens in. And there we have 3-methyl-pent-2-ene. Lovely. So hopefully that's enough practice and you can go through all of the questions in your book that are there. Good.